Hi, this is Dennis Wilborn. Welcome to Active Trend Trading. I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope the video you're about ready to watch provides additional information about how to train yourself to become a profitable trader. Aloha. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn with the Active Trend Traders. Welcome to Making Money Trading Stocks and ETFs. It's a little webinar we do every Friday, about a couple hours before the close, so that we can basically see what's going on for the week, and also just to check and see if there's anything we may want to be looking at setting up for next week. I am utilizing this the new Zoom product, and so far, I like it. I was trying Webinar Jam last week, but what was the issue with Webinar Jam? It is such a heavy-duty bandwidth hog. It was bogging down the system, so I'm hoping this one's going to work out a little bit better. And so I want to remind you that all the materials we present are for training purposes only. Traders should always pay per trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. Past performance is not an indication or promise of future performance. Our model at Active Trend Trading is basically to clarify, simplify, and multiply. I'm always searching for mechanisms and ways by which we can adjust the system so that, logically adjust it, so that it becomes both clearer and more simple for all members who choose to use it. And so we continue to move in that direction. Always remember that most trading errors come from a lack of patience and a compulsion to do something, even when nothing needs to be done in reality. I know this, no matter what stage of a trader you are, beginning to expert, impatience and impulsiveness, if you tend to have an impulsive personality, can always crop up and just bite you. Just absolutely bite you in the butt when you are when you're in the process of trading, and oftentimes wind up losing more than you would intend to lose if you will manage your stop losses, hard stop losses, that will help mitigate the damages. That's what that's why we have that insurance of the stop loss. If you are new, popping on to, and I don't know if you can see this section up here, but there is something that says chat. And if you will go to chat, you will pop up your chat box, and you will be able to see and also communicate with each other. This is, again, the new Zoom package that we're utilizing. Much less bandwidth required, and so you should see the quality of the videos dramatically better, and also not that it's worth anything, but the video of me in the little corner talking to y'all should also be a little bit clearer. Makes me look at least 10 years younger, is what I've been told. Anyway, let's take it. The objective of today's session is to 1, timely actionable intel review at the end of each week. What do we need to be looking at? What's going on this week that's going to spill over into next week? Do a real quick market review, stocks and ETFs that are performing well, and then bonus trades. Here's where we sit as of, gained back a little bit this week. Primarily that was due to a downturn in Tesla. Everything else has been holding up fine. As you can see, Dow still down for the year and from last year's high. Now S&P up just a little bit from last week. Nasdaq and Nasdaq Composite and the Russell. I mean, they're in beast mode right now, so stand by for them to even potentially move higher. Let's take a real quick look at what's going on there. Okay. Yeah, I'll go here. Okay, on a daily chart, here's a SPY. And please let me know, can you in fact see the chart of the spiders. It's a little bit different. Yes, okay, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. So weekly, daily. The weekly chart, basically, we received a turn up on the spiders back here at around the first part of April. We actually did a early warning alert trade on that, moved on up, hit its high, and then has done just a regular pullback. We know we have resistance up here at the 280 level. Pull back into the moving averages, as you would expect for a controlled move. So now we have a bullish engulfing on a weekly chart. That appears to be how we're going to be closing. I'll be looking at a couple of different entities. Spiders, I'm less interested in trading spiders as I am trading either derivative of the Qs, a option, and or the 3-time leveraged ETFs. But I want to have an idea what are the S&Ps telling us? Well, one, we came right down. This was basically we had dropped below early in the week, down to below the 100-day moving average. And there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of course, is an off day, Thursday, Friday. We've continued to push on up. And we've continued to push on up. So, where to from here? I would anticipate the S&P is driving at least back up into the, like I said, on the daily chart, the 277 level or even the 280 level. Watch the TSI. If we get back up into these areas, is the TSI back to the oversold, or will it have a negative divergence on it? So that's what I'm looking at for the S&P. The Qs, which emulates the, there we go, the Q. Came right down the 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving has, in fact, held. What's also very interesting, look where it came down, 382 retracement on the move from early in April up to the highs of 620. We get a pullback to the 382. And then a rebound from there. TSI never got really strongly oversold, but we bounced back up on a weekly chart. Yes, this is a bullish engulfing. However, that's not reversing much of a downtrend. We had a 1 week down, bullish engulfing. Looks like it wants to push back up higher. TSI on the weekly starting to turn back up. Looking towards trading the Qs, I would look for, I would like to see a pullback into about the 1742, the 174 area, and we flip over to not TNA, but TQQ. So what does that mean on TQQ? Well, what it means is basically I'd be looking at a pullback into either the moving average, the 820 combo, and or midsection of this candle here, which is about, anywhere from $60 down to, I would say, $59.50 or so, the middle third of that large candle. That's where I would then flip in the intraday charts to say, okay, what might transpire in that situation. And as you can see, we've got strong support down here at 59. So any pullback into 60 and or 59.5. One of the other things to be on the lookout for is any kind of pullback towards this yellow line, gold line. That is the 50-period moving average. And you can see, once it starts trending up, it tends to respect that. It'll do little pullbacks into it. Once it starts trending down, oftentimes you'll get pullbacks up into it to continue down to the downside. That's what we're looking at for TQQ. Not interested in buying right here. Would like to see some kind of a little pullback to retest the 59.77, 75 level, and then expected move up to back to around the $63 level, 63.1. IWM. Again, IWM came right down to the 50 on Monday and then ricocheted off of that. and has run back up very nicely. Let's throw a fib on here. How far has it retraced from the high here to the low here? As you can see, it actually has done a retracement, the 786 retracement, and oftentimes if the 786 is broken, it's going to go ahead on up and visit the 100% retracement level. It may bounce around in here in the magic fib box between the 618 and the 32, yeah, the 38%. That may bounce around in the little fib box there, but it definitely looks like it wants to move higher. I would be looking at, there we go. Again, pullbacks, and these are two, really significant large candles. Any pullbacks into the midsection of this candle, now one thing I've learned on using this new application, next week I will make it, or the next session, or the next week I will make it where when you log on, you can jump right into the session. Anyway, any type of pullback into the midsection of this candle on a daily basis, and or midsection of the candle on the, isn't it kind of interesting? Let's throw a around the midsection of this weekly big bear bullish engulfing candle. Where does that take us? Well, as you can see, right back down into the 820. So the 820 combo would be definitely a great place to try to jump and go long on IWM. And of course, what's my choice of would be TNA. Similar type situation, any type of retracement back into, and if you get and put your orders back, in place early on at about the 85 level. And if we get filled at 85, what's our potential? Our stop would be right down below the lows here. So from 85 here down to below this level, about a 6% stop loss. So you want to size your position accordingly. In other words, don't take a full position if your max loss is 5%. So that's what I'm looking at with TNA, with the individual indexes going forward next week. Here's where we're sitting on all the different strategies from first week in July. And I want to highlight to somebody is yes, we've had 2 early alerts so far this year. They've done well. I am basically working on a replacement. We will be running early warning alerts through the end of the year, of course. But I'm working on a strategy that will basically take some of the good parts of the early warning, but also open it up to enable us to be in the trades longer, and also more accurate reversal signals. And basically, it's going to be called the major/minor and major market action points. And I'll be introducing that in 4th quarter. And for those of you who are early warning alert guys, that we'll just do a transition into that, and we'll be covering us through the end of the year. And then, so just to let you know, and the idea is we miss a lot of the movement. And so from a technical standpoint, there's sometimes we could be in a trade for longer and just let it run. So it's about capital growth and being prosperous in those areas. So for the premium members, the go no-go table has been very good this week. Spider, QQQ, both of those gave us entry signals. Again, it says exactly where to take the trade at. FAS, entry signal. JNUG, now JNUG is and then also down here at TEAM, T-E-A-M. The bonus trade that we're working on for all members, everyone, is of course the JNUG, the gold trade, and I'll take a look at that here briefly. But really pleased, we got into JNUG I think it was last Friday, we went ahead and pulled the trigger on that. Got in at 1330. JNUG is currently up at 1466, and so we're up a little bit over 10%. Target, and I'll show you the target here shortly. I'm waiting to be able to fill in the rest of the trades here for the strategy 1. I'm watching Team, SUPN, and Grub, along with Tesla and BABA. Gold, we got into a spread on that, and this is a longer term, going all the way out to October for the seasonal run in gold. Our leaves position did a great job on Tesla this week. Had 2 short calls on. We generated $1,400 in cash flow. Came in with that. Waiting over our position in BABA. And we also did $215 in spider trades. And so bonus trade, long and JNUG at $1,300 so far. It's up about $910. Our strategy 2 trades, we're averaging now about $316 a week. So gold, as I've talked about, we're in the rectangle when gold tends to want to turn around. And so, as I said, we have gotten into a couple of positions on gold. And on the JNUG, we only bought half a position. So I would like to be adding to the JNUG position once we get, as long as gold remains stabilized and in a direct uptrend. Oil has been doing well. It is basically a rebound. We had a lot of noise. The tariffs were supposed to go into effect today, as the initial parts of them. Oil didn't get whacked that much, either one way or the other, and so that, in a way, is a good thing. So we'll be watching oil. I'd like to see here in July get a nice little pullback, as we see here in the tendency chart, or in the seasonality chart. Middle of the month, get a little pullback, and then jump into oil for this run from July through the September time frame, and then typically it falls out of the sky from there. So we'll be looking at that for the future. And so let me go back to the charts real quick. I want to go over a couple of items. One is, okay, let's take a look at JNUG. Now, again, this was a trade that we did for everyone. And one of the things I did highlight here is a 75% gain from where we entered, or from the bottom of, so about $13, would take us up to about $23.27. Last July, when and I'm just looking at past performance, last July, JNUG went from the low here to the high here. It was about 71%, 70 to 75%. Let's see if I can find the July before that, which is around, actually started earlier the year before, and JNUG went from here by the end of, it's going into October from its high, about 90%. Now, I'm not saying it's going to run 90%, but it is going to have it in the July run, and then look again, the October, or the November/December run, where it will give you a really nice run up here. Here's another 70%er last October, November, or November-December time frame. And so we want to pay attention to those, because those are what's going to be giving us the opportunities to, for those really quick hitters. How long did the trade last? Last July, it lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. And that's about what the average has been. And so what I did over here was I just measured from, I took the low here to the high here. Yeah, that's July. And I just moved it over, activate it. And then I just moved it over, and it gave us an approximation. Again, it's an approximation of how high it can go It's not a guarantee. It's just a technical analysis tool to say, okay, from the lows to the next potential high could take us up to around the $23 to $24. You know, we may want to back that down. If I get up to $22.50, I am definitely moving my stops to where it would be, you know, anything below 20 would take me out. So that's what we're doing. Again, good trade so far. The other two that I'm looking at for a potential bonus trade, it's not ready yet, is I like Grub. We'll keep an eye on that. And I like also TAM, Team, or TEAM, Team. And so that's what I'm looking at. As we can see, Team did get a really nice bounce earlier in the week above the 50, and then, you know, took off from there. You know, kind of nice. Did a nice little pullback. TSI, tick up, and let's continue to move up. The one thing that's missing from, and I'll show you what that is, the one, you know, let me pop over here. The one thing missing from, and part of it is just a shortened holiday week. One thing that's missing from Team is volume. And we'll probably see that across the board. Volume there. If I go back to Grub, volume, not just sits slightly below average. BABA, now what's interesting in BABA is, check this out, okay? This is a Chinese stock, and it did a really nice reversal here. TSI tick up, very quick one. And so now I'm going to be looking for, you know, any type of pullback into about the 189 to 190. Looking for either buy a call, and or I could do a credit spread, or I could just basically buy some BABA, And I would want to, of course, have put a 5% stop loss on that, or maybe less. And I just want to take a real quick picture. Okay, down to the swing low is about a little bit over 4%. What's your thoughts on ALB? You know, if you put ALB with BABA, it's almost like you're almost at Alabama. Just Alabama? So, did you guys hear that alert go off? The reason I asked that is that that's one of the things that's nice about this particular program is I can play videos on it for members. Like, in other words, we have a little clip that we want to do, educational clip. It can plug in there. Let's see here. One, I would. Susan, I would want to run one. I know absolutely nothing about Able Marl or what it does, so I want to do a stock checkup on it at IBD. But let's see, let's take a look here at volume. Volume, it's got on average above 1 million shares per day. That's positive for me. It is coming up and out of a drop off because of earnings. No, after earnings, it must have hit something there and fell. What does it look like on a walk? Hold on. There we go. Give me a little bit better picture here. I always go back and I want to see where it's been. And that's where I go back and look at the longer term weekly and sometimes even a monthly chart. I want to see where it's been. And as you can see, it started way down here at 40, ran up to 140, excellent. And now it's basically in the process of base building, excellent. And so, yeah, I mean, I would say that, it's almost a point where you could almost start nibbling on a weekly basis, on a weekly chart. I would kind of like to see it on a weekly chart. Oh, test back. Well, you may not get a test back, but see if you can pick it up for a little bit more of a discounted amount. But we have another TSI tick up here. We are above the 820. but we're stuck below the 50. So we may hammer around here for a while. It may pull back in and get another run on it, see if we can get the momentum going up. But it's got some nice upside, because if it goes from here back up to its past highs, we're at about a 40+% run. So again, do the stock checkup, and then go from there as far as what the entity looks like. So did that help, Susan? What does it do anyway? Do you know? Oh, okay, in lithium. Okay, my friends, went a little bit longer. Please let me know again about the this new format. It's a little bit, it is a little bit different. I can, like if anybody else wanted to talk or wanted to show their lovely face this morning, it does have the capability of doing that, but you have to, you have to turn it on, and to be able to do that, you just have to say, ask for permission, and by raising your hand or whatever, and then I can basically turn your computer on, or turn your when you turn your camera on, you'll appear on camera. So yeah, that's probably the mic that I'm using, Eric. I'm looking for that proper lavalier type mic to be able to utilize. So, but other than that, even though it sounds a little bit canny, hopefully, I think that's the mic, not the platform. Okay, with that, we'll call it a day for the day, and we'll get ready for the next session. Please, if you will, share the links to this to this webinar with your friends or somebody who may be interested in trading. This is a free webinar. I do not get into the individual trades that premium members get, but we do give a really nice overview of the markets and give some people some trading idea for going into the next session starting next week. So with that, I'll bid you adieu. God bless everybody. Aloha.